Hello and welcome to the Two and a Half Brain Cells podcast, where we talk games, sports, pretty much anything that we want to talk about. Uh, I am Cam.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ronnie.
All right. What do we want to talk about first, boys?
Um, I don't know. I just want to,
Hi.
welcome to the
Yes.
podcast.
Welcome.
Guys, we're actually doing it.
We are actually doing it. Big
We're
round of
actually
applause.
doing it.
We are talking about it. We
For
talked about it and we're doing it.
for those of you that don't know, we just we've always wanted to do a podcast and just take a chance, see how it goes.
Why not?
Why
Yeah,
not,
exactly.
indeed?
Um, so yeah, I just want to welcome everyone and want this to be like a, you know,
Just enjoyable, sit back and relax type of deal.
Yeah, just kick back, relax, play this while you're doing your homework. I don't know, just or just
Yes.
chill,
Get some popcorn.
yeah, get some popcorn.
Get a nice,
You know
comfy throw. And
yeah,
just bundle yourself up.
Corey Kenshin when he does Spooky Scary Sunday, you know,
I don't know who
relax.
that is.
You don't know Corey Kenshin? Okay,
No.
well,
Topic of
I'm
discussion.
sure.
Topic discussion. Who is Corey Kenshin? Let's begin.
First of all, Corey Kenshin is a YouTuber who kind of disappears sometimes, but that's only because stuff that happens in his life.
Yeah, that
Just
can't
taking
be
a
helped.
sabbatical.
Yeah,
That's all.
that
What'd
can't
you
be
say?
helped. He's taking a sabbatical.
Sabbatical? No. But
That's another topic for another discussion.
That is another. That
okay,
is a topic for another discussion. We need to let Jordan know what sabbatical means.
okay. Well, he's a famous YouTuber. He's good.
Not famous enough for me.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding.
oh, whatever. Anyway, welcome to a new pilot. All right, boys. Let's get started.
Let's get started. Indeed. Where are we all from? I am from Massachusetts, and
And
you boys are from Florida, right?
Indeed.
yeah, Tampa, Florida.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start talking sports, you're gonna see a big difference here. I might be barking at these boys, and they're gonna be barking at me. It's gonna 2 versus 1. But I'm tough. I can maybe manage it.
Speaking of sports,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the NHL.
All right, let's do it. I'm very new to the NHL. Uh, my dad has been a big NHL fan for my whole life. I only caught interest in 2011 when obviously the Bruins, a Boston, Massachusetts team, were in the Stanley Cup Finals. And my dad said, "Oh, this is something like you wouldn't want to miss." And when you're young, you're not really interested in sports, like to
Yeah.
to an extent. But that's how you get interested. Is
That's
because
how I got into sports.
yeah, because you're like, Dad, let me stay up and watch this, even though you don't really care. Like it was
Yeah,
always
exactly.
baseball was always on.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a certain circumstance, and I said, "Oh, let me use this as an advantage to stay up." But then I ended up getting really into it. But it kind of muddled down afterwards. But then when I was working with Jordan, he was talking about the Stanley Cup, and he's like, "Oh, you should, like we should place bets on who would win." And I knew nothing. Um, so he helped me with like the teams and the brackets and all that. Uh, but correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, but my like predictions for the at least the first round wasn't that crazy. Like I mean, not
Yeah,
it was like pretty
they were
good.
pretty good. I mean, I basically made you like a little cheat sheet
Oh yeah, you
on
did.
my.
You showed me like like the win to loss ratio.
Yeah, I did the records for the season. Then
Hmm.
I think I did the series between the teams in the regular season.
Yeah,
Oh, smart.
it was.
Just because I knew I had an unfair advantage because I kind of threw you into it.
Yeah, you did. He did.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, and then I started watching more teams, and towards the end when it was against Colorado and the Lightning.
Oh God.
Uh,
Oh, that's the year you're talking about.
yeah, that was the year that I started. It
Oh,
was kind of big, like because
yeah. Because
like
the
like
Lightning.
you guys don't know because you guys are like the fans, but like just like being not from here and seeing like just how like cocky I guess everyone was. It was just like it was like the peg needed to be knocked down. Like humbled, I
That's what
guess.
everyone's outside of
Listen,
Tampa.
Yeah.
listen, listen. No, 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 no. Okay, you're gonna get me fired up here. Listen, we won. The Tampa Bay Lightning won 2 in a row, and I don't care what you say. Oh, it was a COVID year. It didn't count. It did count.
Didn't count.
Oh my God.
Huh?
In 2020, the Lightning beat the Bruins, by the way. So if the Bruins won, would it have counted?
No.
Hmm.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't
Hmm.
believe it. But
You can replace it having not won. You can't. It doesn't count.
but
Um.
now,
But anyway.
all right, keep going, Cam. I'm sorry.
But you're good. Fine. It's fine. I'd be the same. Honestly. Like I said, it's like an outside perspective. Like for
Yeah,
you, like
exactly.
the Lightning were doing nothing wrong. You know. Um. So that was pretty big for me. Um.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But and I got really sick while I was watching, well, like while that was going on. So that was pretty good. I started feeling better when they lost. Not like when they
yeah,
lost. I
yeah,
started
yeah,
feeling better. What
yeah.
I meant is like I was feeling better, and then they lost. But
Coincidentally, it happened
all
that
in
way.
all, that was really like. But come on, guys, that was definitely like. I'm not obviously like a Lightning fan, but that was a really good series up until like it was very obvious like that the Lightning were tired.
Yeah,
It
and we
was a
just
good
look up to it.
series besides the first 2 games.
Yeah, like it was a good series. Like definitely compared to this one. Like it was an embarrassment how like I felt like it was too late for the Panthers versus the Golden Knights. Like it was too late by that point when the refs were like, "Oh, the Panthers are like actually like doing some shady shit." So
Mm-hmm.
then they started calling the Panthers left and right, and then they were
Well,
fucking gone in seconds.
Hmm.
it was 6-0 at the end of the second period.
Yeah, like that was so
Like,
embarrassing. Like what an embarrassing final.
and I think I told you, well, because we did the bracket thing again for this year,
Hmm.
and I told you I think the Panthers are going to burn out. I don't think they're going to last all the way to the final. You know, it was a good run that they did. I mean, they swept Carolina the previous round,
Oh my god.
which was really impressive, and I really wasn't expecting that at all, to be
I don't.
honest.
What really did it was the that like like the consecutive OTs.
Oh
In the
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
first
sure.
OT, going like what they pretty much they played 2 full games.
That game was insane.
Yeah, like they played 2 full games, and at that point, like it was like winner takes all, and
Yeah,
they unfortunately didn't take it, and then Panthers just took it again and again, and I just can't believe that the Canes lost like that.
yeah,
Like it is something you wouldn't.
and it's just you saw the frustration too after they lost. It was either like the
Oh my
second or
god.
third
Yeah,
game.
he was slashing the sticks around.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was the
that
third
was.
game. Yeah, yeah.
He was so. But it's just like, oh, like because for those who didn't see it, one of the players is like just slamming his stick against the wall and the floor, and like the player behind, like the people behind him are like genuinely like nervous, like scared. Like
Oh,
it's not good, not a good look.
like listen, like this, like the Stanley Cup playoffs are like
Yeah, it's do or
no
die.
joke.
It
You
is do or
could
die.
you go all the way to the Cup final and you lose. It was you don't there's nothing for second place.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that
you're
means
It's
exactly
nothing.
right.
only like the players work so hard to get there, and for it to just be taken away like that, it's like
No, I couldn't even imagine.
It's like a heartbreak, you know?
It.
Like
No, for sure.
I think it's actually
I
more depressing than like most things that happen.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I
Yeah,
think almost anything live like that, like you taking a loss, like and
yeah,
it's public, and you're like, fuck, man, like,
yeah, like for just a little background. I am from Florida, but I do play hockey, and I've been playing since I was 7 years old. So that's why I'm a huge hockey fan,
very
and
well
the
knowledge
Lightning.
person.
Yeah, the Lightning have always been my favorite team, um,
Good reason.
and like I've been there before. My team's gone to the national championship, and we lose in the final game. It's
Heartbreaking.
the worst feeling in the world. It's tough, but
You'd almost rather not even make it that far at that point.
yeah. But something that I want to point towards is the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2019. They had a record-breaking season. They had the
Uh,
most points. And what did they do in the first round? They lose 4-0 to the eighth seed Columbus Blue
and
Jackets.
and
I
what
mean, it's
They
literally
get
the
happens?
Bruins
And
this year.
what happens this round? What happens
Yeah,
this year?
exactly.
and then
The Bruins.
next year,
Oh,
2020, 21, and 22, they make 3 straight Stanley Cup final runs.
What a feat. That's just crazy.
Even the coach of the Blue Jackets at the time, his name's John Tortorella. He said that his team created a monster when they beat them in 2019,
Yeah.
which is true because the following year in 2020, the COVID year where they had to do the bubble, and listen, I've heard some stories that the bubble, being away from your family from that long,
oh yeah.
like it mentally is challenging, but these players did it, and
Mhm.
it went five, yeah, it went to 5 periods, and Lightning won against the Blue Jackets in that first game,
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
and that was like without Steven Stamkos.
Yeah.
Is
And
it?
like, no, go ahead.
You guys didn't have him?
Yeah, he was injured, but my thing is, when we did make it to the Cup final and played against the Stars, we lost game one like bad, but game two, Steven Stamkos played literally for one shift. And what does Steven Stamkos do in his one shift?
Score.
He scores a goal.
Of course.
Whoa.
What's gonna fire up a team more than your captain scoring when he's been injured and this is his first shift back? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we really went on to win because of that goal. I feel like if Stamkos never scores that goal, I feel like we didn't win the cup that year. But I'm glad it turned out the way it did.
It's all about momentum, really, especially in like playoff situations.
Oh yeah, it's the
Like
biggest
that's
key.
Oh
everything.
yeah, like a tempo basically.
I mean,
As
even
long
Yeah.
as
like
you keep the tempo.
like baseball last year, like the Phillies, they were the lowest seeded wild card team, and they made it all the way to the World Series just like because they just got hot at the right time and had the momentum going. That's all it's about.
That's all it takes. The Panthers were like that this
Yeah,
year.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, they
Like
beat
the regular
the
season only means so much in the end of it all.
Yeah.
beating the Bruins 4-3 after the Bruins were up 3-1.
I think it'll be cool to see the Bruins next year, considering that they got swept in the
A
first
lot of
round. You know,
changes are happening. Uh, we won't have the same captain, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I
Do
actually
we
want
want to
to
talk about
talk
that
about
now?
that. Yeah. Let's talk about that now.
All
So
right.
Patrice Bergeron is retiring. For those of you who don't know, and he's been on the Bruins for a long
Long
time.
time.
Um,
He
he's
is.
probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if his number didn't
It,
get retired.
oh yeah, that's true.
I think it should be retired. I mean, he's been the captain for a while,
but
and
yeah, for sure.
he's done a lot for the Bruins. Um, so, Cam, being a Bruins fan, who would you like to see be the next captain?
Who would I like? That's a tough one. It's
Here,
just
let me ask
basically
it
who
this
I
way.
think is going to be. Like
Yeah, who do you?
it just felt
Who,
like a no-brainer that Brad Marchand was going to be a captain.
That's what I was gonna say too.
okay, now who do you like? But who do you think will actually do it?
I just don't see anybody other than Brad Marchand, honestly, though.
Okay,
Am I missing something?
in my opinion,
Okay.
I think Marchand is too.
He
He's
really
too ratty. He's too
he's
ratty.
he really like had control, man, this year.
He,
Like that's why a lot of us think that he's going to be the captain next time because
I mean, I definitely don't think Pasternak is going to be captain.
no,
It's
he's
just
no.
not like
If he did, I'd die cuz he's just
that's like
like he's so good and then he's so
yeah,
bad. Like
that's like saying Nikita Kucherov is going to be the captain.
yeah, no shot.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he even has an A, to be honest.
It's just like to Chuck. Like he's so good that they'd make him assistant just because.
Yeah,
Like he's
but
honestly a very toxic player in my opinion towards the team.
if you think so,
It's just the way that when they were losing for the first 3 games, um,
uh,
he just was so negative about his team. But then of course they started winning, and then he was like, "Oh, we're like team synergy," and it's like, bro,
I mean,
you were about to throw your team away. He was
the
gonna
only thing
pull a James Harden.
the only thing I saw was him telling them to get used to the room that they're in. I mean,
It
I
was
want
like
to,
it was during an interview, like during one of the intermissions that
yeah.
he
intermission
said
interview.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that he said it.
I guess I don't know, but
But who do you think's
back
gonna be
to
the
the
captain?
back to the Bruins.
Young man.
Young man. Um, if not Marchand, I'm gonna say Charlie McAvoy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
He,
That
I mean, reliable defenseman,
yes, it's very
gets stuff
reliable.
done. Um, if not Marchand, I don't know. I think it'd be interesting if they made Marchand captain, but that could be a possibility for sure, considering everything he's done for the Bruins, and
Yeah,
he's been at A forever.
I feel like he's been there for so
yeah.
long.
Mans ain't going anywhere. I feel.
Jordan, have you been to like a Stanley Cup game at Emily?
Um, mm, no, not you mean like just like playoffs in general, or like
Like Stanley Cup final?
Oh yeah, actually yes. In 2015, I mean we're against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Wait, what game did you go to?
I went to game one and game
Oh, I
two.
was I was at game two.
Oh, you were?
I was there when we won game two, right?
Did we?
Is that the Stanley Cup? Because did we play them twice or was it just once?
We only played them once.
Okay, then
2015.
it was 2015, yeah. Because we won like 4 to. Let me see. I was there. I just
We lost. We lost the cup final.
no. I know we lost the whole final, but yeah. Okay, so I was at the game where we won 4-3, game two.
What?
That game was.
Which game was it that Ben Bishop and Hedman ran into each other? You
I
remember that?
can, let me Google it.
It was absolutely stupid. It was like no communication.
Yeah, I don't know what game that was. Let me see.
I forget which, but I will
Yeah.
tell you one thing:
Mm-hmm.
that first goal in the series that Alex Killorn scored.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
it
that
was
was
game five.
okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. But that goal was beautiful. It was a
Like
total accident, but he
the
redirected
series.
it so beautifully.
That
I
was
don't know if you
the
remember
coolest
it.
game I've been to for sure.
Yeah, but let me see. What was I gonna say?
For as much as I like, wait, go ahead. Sorry.
And then I was there for the first round when we played against the Maple Leafs, and I had to watch them lose, unfortunately. But
Hmm.
This past
Oh
year.
yeah, that's right. Yes, he was there.
Hmm.
yeah,
I haven't. I the only ever like I think playoff games I've been to were was that Stanley Cup game.
Me and Jordan were talking. We're gonna try, not necessarily towards the playoffs,
but yeah, when the
but
Bruins come
yeah,
to town,
yeah,
Oh,
we
we
should
have
that'd
to
be
all
good.
go
we
to
should
Yeah.
all
that.
go.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
No,
funny.
definitely. Would you guys be interested in going to a baseball game? Like if the Rays make the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been
Because
wanting to go to a Rays game actually.
considering we do make the playoffs, hypothetically speaking,
Do
I
you
am gonna try.
I
do you
mean,
actually want to shed some light onto that, Ronnie, about the Rays?
Okay, so for as dire as the situation is right now with the Rays, we're somehow like staying afloat very well. We won again today. The team doesn't look dead, which you'd think
Yeah.
because there's the whole Wander situation going on, which I think you guys both know about that, right?
Oh yeah.
no.
So
You don't.
Wander Franco is like our
You
franchise player.
okay? I did. Oh, okay. Is it the?
Yeah, and there's allegations towards him about having a relationship with a minor, or at least in the past having one.
I mean,
Um,
it's a Florida team.
yeah, that's
But
crazy.
please continue.
Okay, so yeah, he's like on. It's called the restricted list. He's basically just probably not going to play the rest of the year. I would be shocked because it's getting into legal matters now.
Man,
And then McClanahan, who's our ace pitcher, got announced that he's going to have Tommy John, I think, on Thursday. So he's out for not only this year, but probably next year too. Along with
wow.
the entirety of our 5-man rotation coming into the season, only one of them is still pitching. The other four have all gotten hurt or sent down to the minors. But somehow we're still in second place in the AL East, about to be 2 games back of the Orioles. So,
There's hope.
yeah, we still got that top wild card spot. So we're
Let,
pushing.
let's talk about that a little bit. Let's go into the player a little bit because
Rocco?
there's a bit of a topic here to say. So,
Yeah.
is there much evidence on this?
No, the evidence is just claims,
Just
just
claims.
verbal claims. But like you
There's
don't
no
want to dismiss
hardcore
it.
evidence. Yeah, you don't like. So the thing is, I feel like it is the right call, but like, because you know how the world is right now, where it's like you're guilty until proven innocent,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be that way. Um, do I think that he should be suspended? I would say sure until it gets proven that it's not. But like, if there's no
Exactly.
evidence, like that's so hard to like damn a person
That's kind of what
without
they're doing right
evidence.
now is they're like being extra precautious and just like, hey, you're not gonna play right now.
Yeah.
And the MLB and the Rays are like launching an investigation into it.
Wow.
It's also I think largely taking place in the Dominican Republic. So it's not as easy, I
Ooh.
don't think, to
Yeah.
like sort out because I mean it's a different government first of all,
Yeah.
but
It's
like
just a hard.
yeah, and it's just there's apparently reports of the second person coming forward now and saying the same thing. But it's just crazy. And I mean, if he is proven guilty, then he's never gonna play baseball again. I don't think
Yeah. Then
he
like
shouldn't if he is.
then attack him. You know.
Yeah,
But it's just like
yeah. But
I.
also, it would be awful to let him play right now, especially if he ends up being guilty.
Yeah.
Because then it's like,
Exactly.
well,
Ooh.
we were letting this guy play all this
Yeah. You wouldn't
time.
want that. That's exactly why I think it's a good idea to suspend him until they figure it
Yeah.
out. But of course, not.
You guys see all the memes about it now?
Oh God, they're so. I
No.
hate it.
I'm not into
Dude,
that into
people
the space of
people
the Rays.
and I'm gonna say this because and it's gonna trigger you, Cam. People on X like are
Ugh.
so brutal. They like when something happens, someone's making a meme
Oh,
about it,
don't
and
even get me
the next
started about
second,
Twitter though. Like that's just like so like they're judge, jury, and executioner always on Twitter though.
Oh yeah.
Like if the slightest thing, like oh I heard Jordan likes to like splash like put ice in people's pockets, he'd be like destroyed on Twitter. He'd be destroyed, gone in seconds. Mans would be moving to Canada to run away
Oh
from
no,
them
I would
because of
not
how
go away.
bad Twitter is. Fellas,
Yes,
I
sir.
feel like there's one thing that we all like that we might want to
What is
talk
that?
a bit about.
Wait. There's
Is there one more thing that
Are
you
we
want to talk
moving
about?
away from sports?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Wait. I have one other thing to talk about.
Oh, your season?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, shoot.
So now, for those of you keeping up with the Lightning and all the people they've signed and trade, so obviously there's no more Alex Killorn.
Mm.
He's going to Anaheim now. And honestly, it reminds me of how when Andre Palat left.
That was painful.
Obviously now they have 2 cups under their belt. Now they're worried about chasing the bag. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so he has like 6 million for I don't know a certain amount of years. I think is it per year. I'm not sure. I have to look at it. But he was at Anaheim. We have Maroon, who's going to play for Minnesota now, and Pierre Edouard Belmar is gone now as well. And those are basically who our fourth liners were. Oh, and Ross Colton's gone, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
He's playing with the Avalanche now.
Mm.
So, and now we signed Connor Sheary. Trying to think of who else. And we signed a few other. We also re-signed Tanner Deneau. We almost went to arbitration with him, but they eventually found a price that they were both happy with.
I
And I really hope he was worth the money
well,
because.
I just
Go ahead.
did you see much from him to warrant that?
Last year, I did not see much, but
Yeah,
honestly,
maybe they're just taking
your
a chance
first
on him.
year, what keeps me, positive about it is everyone's first year with a new team can be different, and then they can end up, really making a difference the next following year. So I think that's where the Lightning are trying to go with that. I just hope he actually, does something. Um, and then we also signed a few other low level, well, low paying contracts. So
Okay.
Yeah, we've done
basically
the same. Yeah.
yeah, basically fourth line guys, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense, and maybe some guys that will go play in the minors. Um,
Like
so I'm
prospect type
interested to
players
see
that
how
are
they
younger.
turn out
Yeah.
because in the NHL you can't just have one line. All 4 of your lines have to have depth. You got to have those grinders. You got to have those physical guys. So hopefully out of these new guys we can get it out of them because
Mhm.
we know our top guys can do stuff and produce, and that's why they're our top guys. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Obviously, I'm hoping it's good. We might not be good for the next few years, but you never know. So, but
You always
that's
got to
my
go through
thought.
that rebuilding process, you
Yeah,
know.
I was just about to say that. I think that's the same for the Bruins. Just a whole bunch of younger people to build a restructure, so to speak.
Yeah.
Some veterans we got Lucic back. That's crazy to me. Um,
Oh yeah.
I think it's only for this one season for now.
I think it was a
Um,
one year deal.
yeah, but that's pretty crazy to me. But yeah, it's good to not always chase. I feel like the Bruins had their best chance this year, and it fumbled unfortunately. So I obviously can't speak for the Bruins. They might go hard again. Who knows? The
Mhm.
Lightning might
Yeah.
go hard again. Who knows? You
I
know.
feel like my take on this whole rebuilding thing
Mhm.
is through any sport.
Yeah.
If
Oh yeah.
an organization is rebuilding and they still are able to hold their own and compete and not just sink to the bottom. That's like
Yes.
the integrity of like a good
Yep.
organization.
Exactly. Like if you're
Honestly,
not
like
willing to change, like how can you continue? You
yeah,
know.
and not to like bring them back up, but like the Rays are like a prime example of that because they're constantly just offloading like crazy, but then always manage to be competitive. And there are just certain like organizations that just like have that shit down in every sport. And if the Lightning and Bruins can like hold up, like keep holding their own, that kind of like shows the integrity of the whole team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good section right there, talking about some
Yeah. Yeah.
hockey
Yeah.
and actually baseball as well.
Yep.
There is one thing that all of us like that we might want to dive into a little bit, and of course that is at last we will have revenge. Some Star
Mm.
Wars.
Yes.
Are we excited for Ahsoka?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it should be really good. I hope they, because obviously it's kind of like a sequel to Star Wars Rebels in
Mm.
some way, because
Mhm.
we have Ahsoka Tano, and for those of you who haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, it is an animated show, and you can stream it on Disney Plus. But it's really good. A
Very
lot of
good.
people think that animated stuff is for kids, but it's really not. It helps develop the story of it, and it's really good. But we'll see Ahsoka, obviously,
Mhm.
and then we also see Sabine Wren, and we also see Hera.
Yeah.
Um,
A
so I'm
well-known
excited
actress
for it,
too.
and I'll wait to say it. But what do you guys think?
I really think it's going to be good. I love the vibe that they gave where um, you don't really know how it's going to go because it looks like there's going to be some plot lines here because there's always going to be survivors. People need to get over that. Like they have to have survivors in these shows. Like when I say survivors, I mean like the Jedi survivors that may turn
Yeah.
out good or bad
Mhm.
because it's just like obviously like you can't just kill an entire like way of like life, like the way the Jedi is. Like you can't kill the Order right just then and there, Like,
Exactly. It's
but
going
they
to continue
damn
somewhat.
near exactly. They damn near killed everybody. So I'm not
Yeah.
too bothered by like the Inquisitors and these new Dark Jedi that you really don't know like what about them. Um, and I'm excited for it. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know. Jordan, do you know if you know for sure that you have to watch The Mandalorian, see like all the seasons to see this? Do you know?
Um, you can. I want to say you do not have to watch season 3
Because I don't
to
see anything that like looks like it's related to any of the
um
media.
season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Does show Ahsoka? You're right.
You definitely should watch.
That's true.
Season 1 and 3 you could probably get away with,
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
I actually then again, now that I'm thinking about it, you probably definitely want to watch. I'd watch all the seasons before I watch Ahsoka,
Okay,
because
just in case.
there's some there's some plot details in the first 3 seasons that would help, I think, Ahsoka make sense.
Okay.
Because, um, yeah, I'm just remembering now. I think you definitely want to watch all of the Mandalorian, because you can't just jump into season 2 and
No,
like
no, God, no.
not knowing what happened in season 1, because you're
No.
gonna be super lost.
Well, the only
Um,
reason why I feel like I'm not sure how they're gonna go, like with the storyline, like where it takes place, is because Rebels does show her as a Grey Jedi, you know. So I don't know, like if this takes place before the Mandalorian or after the Mandalorian. So
um,
do we even
yeah, I don't.
know? Yeah, I don't think we know, huh? But like you
Uh,
said, it's probably safe to just watch everything.
yeah, it's gonna be safe to watch everything, because yeah, everything's like, if you don't know who Ahsoka Tano is, you need to watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
which is a
Yeah.
phenomenal show. Uh,
Yes, very
it
good.
is unfortunate that there is no way. Like, I wish Disney Plus had like a an order section where you can watch Clone Wars in order. But please, if you ever watch the Clone Wars and you are confused, you don't like it because of how jumbled everything is, there is a confirmed order in how to watch it. And if you watch it in that order, it becomes amazing, honestly. I always was watching the Clone Wars, but I never got too attached to it because it just felt like a what's the word? Like a Tales. Like Tales of Jedi's basically,
Like
you
little
know.
short stories,
Yes,
mini arcs.
but
Like
then
yeah.
you watch it in order and you're like, "Oh my god, like it all makes sense. Like this is
Hmm.
perfect. It's a big story." I love it. If I could rate it right now, probably an 8.5 maybe. The 8 point the maybe like why not a 9 is there are some stories that I feel could have been taken out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like
There's always that filler.
yeah, like I just can't quite think about one right now. But if you were to show me every episode, I could easily be like, oh yeah, no, that shouldn't have been there. What do you think, Jordan?
Um,
Was that a fair rating of that show?
yeah, I mean, obviously you have to have some of those like filler kind of
Mm-hmm.
episodes, if that makes sense. Because like there's definitely like some of the stuff that we could have lived without, but it's never a bad thing to get more Star Wars things that you don't
No,
see.
absolutely not. I agree.
Like
But
we
if
didn't see how the clones like interacted with
oh
each
no,
other in
that
the movie.
that aspect
Like
was perfect to me. Like
yeah,
eh, I can't, like I said, I can't quite pinpoint the ones that I think should go, but like I think if I were to pick them, you yourself would probably be like, yeah, okay, that could be gone.
yeah,
But
for
if I
sure.
could rate like one part, like one reason to watch this show, it would be the final season for sure. The final season was just
I
amazing. What?
I've only seen like the first 3 seasons of it.
What?
I know. I feel like I
Ronnie,
need to
Ronnie, what
like.
are
you need
you
to watch all
doing?
of it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is like a revelation to me. I'm really disappointed.
Well, I'm very bad about watching anything.
They're not
You
even
know.
that. Like, it's really like I swear it's not that bad.
Well,
These
Like
because I haven't
episodes
even
are
seen.
like
they're like what
20
20 minutes
minutes.
long,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if you just watch,
Except the last season. The last
oh
season, I
yeah,
think they made it
Yeah.
a little
Everyone talks
longer.
so highly of it.
like
Oh, it was.
it's so good. Like it gets like everything, even if like the show itself is fantastic, but
Uh-huh.
even if you were like, oh, I don't know, but like getting to the final season is so worth it. Like that is where like they just had it. They were like, okay, like we know where this story ends and where we need to go, and we know like where we need to put everybody. And my God, they do such a good job. I love it.
I mean, speaking of like animated shows, that reminds me of Attack on Titan.
You want to talk about that?
Well, I just mean
We're,
like in the way that they you.
let's stick to Star Wars and then we'll get to that. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I'm gonna say something, and I think you're gonna agree with this, Cam. And
Shoot.
this last season of the Clone Wars was way better than the whole sequel trilogy combined.
Oh my God, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're at its worst, which is like kind of bad to say of the Clone
Yeah.
Wars, like which there is really no like worse. Um, but like nothing can ever come close to like my disdain for the final Star Wars movie. I honestly, I
Well, the last one's the worst. Yeah.
I haven't. Thank you. I haven't even watched one like the Last Jedi or the Force Awakens after Rise of Skywalker because man, I when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is okay. This is fine. I don't know what's going on." And then I went into my dad's room, and then I was like telling him I just saw the movie, and then I just started telling him what I didn't like, and then it ended up being like half the whole movie, and I was like, "Damn, I guess I really didn't like this movie." Like it just really like assassinates characters. Like in
Hmm.
terms of their personality and like their story. Like Finn got shafted, Poe got shafted. Like it's just like it just felt like they wanted to recapture the magic that was the original trilogy. The original trilogy,
That's it's
it
just
was
impossible to do that.
yeah, it was George Lucas and then the director of Empire Strikes Back and then the director of Return of the Jedi. It, but like so they were trying to do that. They were like, "Oh, JJ, here you start this tale," and then they got another director who has a different viewpoint. The thing that I felt like worked for the original trilogy is that the other director didn't even want to do Star Wars, but then
Mhm.
he saw it and he was like, you know what, yeah, like let's do it. And then it was just like it was there was just more care, and so and instead I feel like you got a director who wanted to do their own thing and change it.
Mhm.
And I still, Jordan will never agree with me on this. I still think The Last Jedi is really good. I like it,
I
but
agree.
thank you. But it now doesn't matter because JJ tried to fix The Last Jedi, which is fine. But I just think what he did just didn't work for me.
I mean, the fact that it was like a different director from the first to second, and then from the second to third, it's so disjointed for that
It
reason.
was disjointed. Like it just worked
Yeah.
so well the first time around, and then
Hmm.
I think George was like, I do we know why George decided to direct the prequels? Like, did he just
I
say
think he
like,
just wanted to. I don't know.
yeah,
He
because
had it planned out, like
yeah,
while he was doing
Yeah, I
the
think it was like
original.
his story, so like he
mm,
wanted to do it.
The way he described it, it was like his baby, his
okay,
child.
the prequels.
In the
Yeah.
originals,
Well,
like
because
Star
they
Wars in
but the
general. Like
well, I mean yeah, but the originals he only directed the first one.
yes, but he was working alongside for the other
Oh,
ones.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We are avid lovers of the prequels. We love the prequels.
Me too. Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
The
Literally,
nostalgia.
Revenge of the Sith is something I can watch honestly probably every day if I had to. If you pay, you couldn't even pay me enough. Honestly, I'd be like, "What you want to pay me? Sure." Like Revenge of the Sith to me, and it's so sad to say, I guess, but it's like it's such a perfect movie to me. Like it has the entertainment, the sadness, the fights, the beautiful music. Oh my god, um,
John Williams, the goat.
so good. Um, you just can't go wrong with it. Um,
No, I agree.
but is there anything else Star Wars related that we want to talk about?
Yeah. What are your guys' like thoughts on Ahsoka? I don't know if we really
I don't think
heard
we
your
actually
guys.
did. Yeah, you're right. Like the character or the show.
The show.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I think that help me with the Dave
Oh, what's his
Filoni.
name? Filoni, yeah.
Dave Filoni. Thank you, Dave Filoni. Just it's a crying shame that that man is not like the head of Star Wars. For those of you who don't know, Dave Filoni is the creator of Clone Wars. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
He created Ahsoka, and he purposely made it to where she was very annoying, and then she slowly developed into her own character. And what a great character development that she had. So he knows he is George Lucas's like apprentice basically. Like he knows
Yeah.
everything about Star Wars. He is just an all around knowledgeable person. He knows what's best for the series. And it's just a shame that he doesn't have like full creative control. And I think he
Mhm.
deserves it. Um, I fully believe that Ahsoka's gonna be good. I truly think that there's a lot of things that they can add to it because we haven't even talked about this, but in Rebels, towards the end of the show, they drop a very interesting bombshell that there is, what do they call it, a world between worlds?
Yes.
So there's a world between worlds, and you can go into any timeline. I don't know if they can control the timeline or if it's just like what the gate decides or like what. But basically, there's a possibility of like rewriting the whole timeline if so choose. There's a rumor right now that Ahsoka goes back in time and fights Anakin instead of Obi-Wan.
Hmm.
That's the rumor, right,
No.
Jordan? No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited for those because there's definitely going to be flashbacks, and I know Hayden Christensen's going to be in
Oh my
it.
god.
So
Ooh.
we're definitely going to get flashbacks,
Hmm.
and
Can we?
maybe in that I don't know if she actually goes and fights him. I think it just could be one of those things that if she's walking through the rotating worlds,
Mhm.
she just kind of like sees it.
Yes, that's
But
what I think.
That'd be cool.
Um, Speaking of that, can we just talk real quick about how I feel like so I love the Obi-Wan show,
yeah,
but it is criminal to me that they barely show Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker.
no, yeah, I
So,
can agree with that.
um, mainly because you don't even know, but he is in his episode 3 attire in terms of his hairstyle. When in that little snippet that you see of him in the back, like in the distance,
Yeah.
and dude, during the behind the scenes, he looked perfect because he had the wig on, and like there was no special effects on him, and he just looked so good. And I was like, man, I just don't know why they like.
I feel like if anything, part of the reason is for that exact reason is to, like keep it like the novelty of it. I don't know,
Yeah, I just felt like it was
like to
really
not like
jarring to
oversaturate it.
me to do like the flashback scene of like before Attack of the Clones. Like I think that was just so strange to me. Like I feel like a practice fight before they get into their ships to save Palpatine, I feel like would have been more endearing in terms of like because Obi-Wan talks about how his anger because
Hmm.
literally like what does Anakin do in like literally the first 10 minutes of Revenge of the Sith? He lets his anger get the best of him and he decimates Count Dooku.
Yeah,
So I just feel like that would have been better. What do you think, Jordan?
Um, the thing is, I don't know if they would have been training together because the whole
That's true.
Clone Wars is going on,
They're
and
more like
Anakin
brothers.
and Anakin isn't a Padawan anymore.
No, he's not. You're right.
He's a Jedi Knight, and like when you become a Jedi Knight, you're allowed to literally have a
Padawan.
apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
you're
mean,
right. There was really no other place to put it, I guess.
like, yeah, I just want to think like story wise, it wouldn't really make sense.
No, you're right. No, I was
But
smoking.
like, it would have been cool.
You're right.
Don't get me wrong.
No, I was smoking something. You're right. You're right. But
Um,
Smoking some.
is there anything else Star Wars related that we want to talk about?
um, oh, just since we're on the Obi-Wan show, I just
Yeah.
want to say, scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin
Are you talking about the
was just
flashback or the duel?
no. After they fight
Oh
and
my god.
Obi-Wan, that
Beautiful.
it was perfect.
That was perfect. Like
The way,
literally, yep.
yeah,
Like just if you never want to watch that show for whatever reason, at least watch that clip because it is just so powerful.
the way Hayden Christensen, you know, is talking and like how the voice box is going like in and out. It's just like it was emotional, you know.
Mhm.
It was it was perfect. It was yeah.
I'm kind of like, ever since I moved away for college, or when I did move away, now that I'm back, I kind of felt I didn't fall out of Star Wars. I just like stopped watching most things because I was so busy. So I'm just kind of excited because I feel like this is gonna get me back into it, like the Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for like something new. Like I did watch Obi-Wan, I've seen Mandalorian, but it'll be nice to like not only back home and watch it with like friends and stuff. And I think I'm excited for it overall.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be really good.
I realized
Yeah.
I was muted this whole time. That was really frustrating.
Yeah.
I muted to cough, which unfortunately everyone heard, and then I went to unmute myself, which muted myself. That was great. I loved that. Nice little hiccup there. So
It's all right.
you did watch Obi-Wan, you said.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
Obi-Wan. I haven't seen the most recent Mandalorian season.
Me either.
And I've seen
That's so
Boba Fett.
funny. You've seen Boba Fett.
I have, yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be my homework is watching Boba Fett
Yes,
because
you need to watch
yeah,
the Book of Boba Fett because it also will help with the Ahsoka
correlate
show.
into yes, and Mandalorian season 3. So
Yeah, exactly. I need to do
Yeah.
that one as well.
so I will forcefully watch the Book of Boba Fett, and I will give my rating of it and talk about it next podcast. Let's see.
Now, before we move off of Star Wars,
Okay,
I think it'd be fair for us to give our ratings of the movies.
which ones?
Um,
All of them?
um,
Yeah. You know what? Let's do it.
yeah, like
I'll do it.
Establish.
including, and we're not going to include the TV shows. We're just going to include, 1 through 9
Hmm.
and Rogue One and Solo.
Okay.
Okay.
Bet. All
All right,
right.
so who wants to start off?
I'll start.
Are we doing like how are we doing, like a tier list kind of thing, or like
No, just like how you would personally rate it, like out of 10.
okay.
Or no,
So,
I was more thinking of that. I mean, that's fine too, but I was more thinking of top like 11,
oh,
right? Yeah.
So like
okay.
1 through 11.
Oh, okay. Like how I would like how okay, like top 5, bottom 5, like top 6, bottom 5 basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My number
Just like
1.
go through it one at a time.
Okay. My
Do it from best to worst,
Yep,
worst
I got
to
you.
best, whatever you want.
Number best is Revenge of the Sith for me. Just I can watch that any day, anytime.
Mhm.
Second would be Empire Strikes Back, just a perfect film.
Mhm.
Third would be God. I might want to say Rogue One only because I watched the ending of Rogue One like almost like anytime I feel like it because of just how like just Darth Vader comes in and just
The
decimates
scene on
everything.
the ship,
Yeah,
yeah,
that scene
that's a
on the
good scene.
Dude,
ship just is amazing.
Dollar Fist.
So I might have to put Rogue One at number 3
Perfect.
just for that scene because I watched that like religiously.
Hmm.
Let's see. I would do A New Hope after that.
Valid.
Um, then I would do Episode 1. That though Episode 1 and Episode 2 for me, the more I watch those, the more I like them. Like especially with Dave Filoni talking about Episode 1,
Hmm.
like made me like my whole perspective on that movie changed. Uh, Ronnie, if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll have to send you a clip of it.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
But
Actually,
basically,
Cam, why don't you just? I don't know if everyone else would just tell them what Dave Filoni said.
what Dave Filoni said is that Duel of the Fates is about Qui Gon and basically the evil, which was at that moment Darth Maul, fighting for Anakin. Basically, like that is the Duel of the
Um,
Fate. Is because if Qui Gon dies, then that's it for Anakin. He will fall to the dark side. But if Qui Gon survives, then he will grow to be the Jedi that he should be.
Okay.
And basically, that's what Duel of the Fates is all about. And this is a short, butchered version of it, but it's powerful. Like, because basically that's what it's all about is Qui-Gon, because he's like I believe Qui-Gon is the main character of the first movie in terms of
Yeah.
he is such a pivotal role for Anakin, and it was so clear that Obi-Wan wasn't, because you know, like Obi-Wan's like the typical like perfect Jedi,
Exactly.
but Qui-Gon was more in the gray zone, and he was perfect for training Anakin, and that's why it was so vital for him to win, and he doesn't. So, but yeah, and then after Revenge of the Sith, no, after not Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, I would put Return of the Jedi. Then I would put Attack of the Clones. I hated that movie, and then the more I watch it, the more like it's like obvious, like why he's a whiny brat, why he's this, why he's that, you know. So the more I watch Attack of the Clones, the older I get, the more I like it more.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the prequels as a whole.
Yes, exactly. Like you understand like what like the vision was for that character. Then I
hmm
would put Force Awakens, just your perfect fun movie. You know, back
Hmm.
when there was nothing wrong, like no one was offended. Everyone could be like, "Oh, that kind of was like the first movie again," but
Yeah, it was like
it
a
was so
rehash.
enjoyable. And I love Kylo Ren, very intimidating. I like what they were going for with him.
Great character.
Then it would go The Last Jedi, and then last place is oh, I forgot about Solo. Ooh, Solo would probably go honestly here. Uh, I enjoyed it the first time I watched it, but the second time I really had a tough time watching it, and I didn't finish it.
I don't think it has a lot of replay value.
It doesn't. Like Rogue
Definitely,
One
that's
does.
definitely yeah. Rogue One
Like
has that for sure.
yeah.
Yep.
And then last is Rise of the Skywalker. Just absolute disappointment. Not a fan.
Worst one.
Absolutely. Jordan.
Oh, my turn.
Yes.
All right. So number one for me, um, Empire Strikes Back.
Understandable.
Um, you can't really beat the original. It's the darkest out of the originals, and it's like you know, the Empire kind of wins in it,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and you get the
It's just a bombshell. Like no one
yeah.
was ever gonna expect
I'm
that.
Father Luke, like
Boom.
yeah, like who was expecting that? Um, and plus I just really love that movie. Yeah, that was best movie. Um, number two, got to go with Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, sir.
Um, just a great movie all around.
hmm
I thought it was perfect the way it was executed. And then when Vader takes his first breath, it was just like,
Chills every
wow.
time, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you guys know this, but before the mask goes on him, you hear him like make this like sound, and
Oh, and he looks
this
terrified.
this sound, you know what it sounds like? It's like he's saying, "Padme, help me."
Maybe. But he does for sure look terrified. Like as the mask is coming down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's awesome.
Um, it's a very emotional movie. Um, and then my number three, I have to give it to Rogue One.
Yep.
Um, I thought it was just excellent, well executed all around. Um, and that best scene was that Darth Vader scene right at the end.
So worth it.
Perfect. Um, and then number four, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna go with Return of the Jedi on this one. Um,
Okay,
I thought the fight between Vader and Luke was just very
that's true.
emotional,
That is true.
and
That does
you
kind of
know,
put it up a peg.
and then when Vader throws Palpatine down the shaft, the music kind of like changes into like a heroic kind of music
Hmm.
instead of the dark music because this is Anakin's redemption. So I just thought that scene's really beautiful. Um, and then um, number five. I'm gonna say number five. I'm gonna have to give it to number five. I'll do, and you guys might not agree with me. Um, I'm gonna go with Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
the only reason why, even though it made 0 sense why Palpatine was there, okay,
Somehow Palpatine
and
returned.
like why he came back, I just thought the whole idea of him still being behind everything in the shadows, just like he did in the prequel trilogy, and no one had no idea about it. I thought it was kind of cool, but it just didn't quite make sense how he was brought back. But
Damn, Rise of
but
Skywalker. You haven't even said A New Hope yet.
and I'll give a reason for a second. But you understand what I'm saying with that?
I think
Like
I get what you mean.
I do,
now, yeah, and I just
but it was very obvious. Oh man, I might want to save this for another time.
My issue with it is it feels like a cop out.
It does. Okay, fine. Yeah, let's get into it a little bit. So the reason why I don't really like the whole Palpatine thing is because it was very obvious that that's not what they were going for. Because there is no like hint of him until
dude,
the final movie.
they had no idea where they were going with it.
No, but damn,
No,
bro.
exactly. Yeah.
But even then, Rise of Skywalker before A New Hope. Wow, that is interesting.
I'll explain. Okay, so I'm on number six. Yeah.
You are, yes.
Now, number six, I'll give it to A New Hope. Um, obviously it's the first in the series. Um, you know, good movie to start off. You know, the first movie was released in
87, I believe.
77,
77. Wow.
Wait, which movie are we
and
talking about?
A New Hope.
it's 2023,
Hmm.
and it's still
Holds up.
they're still making more.
I mean,
Um,
just the cantina scene holds up in my opinion. Like that was the
Hmm.
hitter. That was the most hit or miss.
yeah, exactly.
Because there wasn't much alien anything, and then you go into that cantina and you're like, wow.
But I thought it was a good, starting movie for sure, and it was, executed perfectly. Um, and then for number seven, um, I'm gonna give it to episode two, Attack of the Clones,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
or
Honestly, I have no hatred towards 2 anymore. I actually really like it.
It's very
because
inoffensive. It's just kind of there.
Yeah. It was offensive when you didn't understand that that's the whole point.
actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna
Oh,
flip flop.
are you flipping 1
I'm
and 2?
actually putting episode one here, the
Okay.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I sorry, episode two will
I
be
was
next. So
flipping in between 1 and 2, but I did put 1 above. For Is it for the same reason?
Darth Maul
Yeah. Yep.
being introduced, and then
Mhm.
yeah, and how Dave Filoni explains,
He
this,
sold it.
yeah, and it was, when you put it that way, it was just
Perfect.
it's perfect. A lot of people don't like the amount of politics that were in
But
the
like
prequel trilogy, but like
it
That's the
makes
best part.
what was
sense.
going on. Like
That's the best
that's
part.
It
what,
is the best part.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Now, exactly. The more I watch it, it makes more sense. like the politics, because that's how it all fell apart.
Yeah,
Was
exactly.
politics, like, and then they became generals,
Yeah,
peacekeepers becoming generals. Like, oh, it just makes so much sense. Like, it's fucking perfect. Excuse my language.
yeah. Okay. And then next I'm gonna put episode 2, Attack of
Hmm.
the Clones. Obviously we had a deep dive into Anakin and Padme. Um, the everyone really craps on the dialogue, but
With
I
time, it's
don't,
become charming.
yeah, I don't see why it needs to be crapped on. The only thing I will say is they haven't seen each other in so long. Obviously, they're just doing this because they're attracted to each other.
I, I mean, it's just it's not really that awkward much, really, because it's just like they're two different people that fell in
And plus,
love.
Anakin was in love with her the first time,
Yeah, like
he
I
ever saw her.
believe their love. I just think like you said, like one like the Clone Wars does kind of mess the whole they haven't been talking to each other much because they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, like they were far away when like the start of Episode 3 happened. Like they were far away. I don't think they had actually seen each other for a while.
And they have, obviously, Clone Wars takes place in between
But
Attack of the Clones and
yeah,
Revenge of the Sith.
but you also got to think about it. Um, like Anakin is being more awkward because like he just did something against the Jedi code. So like I really do feel like he's just like not really sure about himself, and that's why he's so awkward. Like especially towards
Yeah.
Padme.
I mean, also at this point, I feel like Anakin just is awkward.
Yes, yes,
Like his character just is an awkward
he
character.
is. He was like he was impulsive in Episode 2, and then he got humbled, and then he's just like, but like he's always fighting the dark side, like the his temper and his ego and stuff, and it's just like, and then after he kills Count Dooku, like I just feel like that's when he's like not really sure because his attitude changes like from like you just gotta pay attention because like his attitude does change after he kills Count Dooku, like just in
Yeah.
terms of it's only when he was with Obi-Wan that you felt like he was the same person, like oh like he was Annie, but
And that's what sucks
mm-hmm.
because, like, he never went to, like, Obi-Wan for help.
No,
And I
never.
really feel like Obi-Wan would have helped him. Like,
Exactly.
if he was like, uh, Master, I got Padme pregnant.
And I killed Count Dooku
Uh,
when he was unarmed.
well, that was more like Anakin got, like, peer pressure into it
He did.
because, obviously that's what Palpatine wanted to happen.
Exactly.
But, if Obi-Wan was, like, not unconscious during that time, he would have said, nope.
Oh, I know. We could talk about Episode 3 all day. But
For real.
Episode 3 what isn't even what you were just about to talk about, young
Oh, yeah,
man.
here's all
You were about
episode
to talk
2.
about Episode 2.
Yeah.
That's just
Well,
how
we just
much we
got
love Episode 3. Like, honestly.
stuck on Anakin, but for episode 2, we see Anakin and Padme, and it was interesting to see how, um, again, politics playing out,
Mm-hmm.
and the meeting Count Dooku, um, and that's when they also saw the Death Star plans
Yes. Yep.
too. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Um. All right, and then let's see. Am I on 7 or
You're
8?
on 8 now.
8. Okay. Um. My number 8 pick is going to be. I'm gonna make it The Force Awakens.
Okay. Yeah.
Um.
For sure. Completely fine. Like,
Basically, just took the format of A New Hope
mm-hmm.
and made it into a newer version and
Modern. Yep.
and made Starkiller Base a planet
Yeah.
that could be destroyed. So yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good carbon copy. All right, number 9. Um, number 9.
It's
Number
tough when you're
9,
on
I'm
the
gonna
spot.
make what?
It's tough when you're on the spot, like picking like the order.
Yeah, are we sure I'm not on 10?
No, you're not on 10
I did.
because you're forgetting about Solo.
Yeah,
Because
but
I
then I
forgot
only
about
have
Solo.
one.
You sure?
Then I only have one movie left.
You have Last Jedi. Oh yeah, I guess maybe not. Whoops.
Yeah, so
Oh
I think I'm
no.
on 10.
Okay.
So number 10, I'm gonna put Solo.
Okay, and then Last Jedi is
Um,
number 11.
well, yeah, but I thought Solo was good. And obviously, I feel bad for those people who saw Darth Maul and haven't watched the Clone
Oh my
Wars.
god, they're like, what?
They've had to been like, wait, what?
And then your
So
least favorite, which was to be predicted, is Last Jedi.
yeah, and I know it's like kind of up there on your guys' list, but let me explain why.
These are fighting words.
What?
No, continue.
Let me just explain why.
Okay.
Now, this whole thing where Luke Skywalker gets his lightsaber, what does he do with it? He throws it over his shoulder. And then he doesn't talk. He's very, very shut, like, doesn't. He's very negative. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind character change, but it has to make sense for a character change.
Okay.
Like, we're talking
So,
Luke Skywalker, the boy who literally believed in his father, who
How
has
do I
been
look?
in the dark side for over 20 years now, right? But he knows there's still good in him, right?
yeah.
And then in The Last Jedi, he senses darkness in Ben. So what does he do? He ignites his lightsaber to kill him.
Only
It
for a
just
second.
it like I get he's scared, he doesn't want it to happen again, but for him just to do that and not try anything in the world to bring him back just doesn't make sense to me the way his character was handled. And I don't know, you guys get what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Like
Yeah. Yeah, I get where it's coming from.
I don't really like the way he was handled in that sort of engagement because it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I just didn't like how they did that because it was just so like out of the blue and no one was expecting it at all.
I feel like that's a lot of what the people who like and dislike it, it's usually so cut and dry on that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether or not it felt out of character or wrong.
Like even Mark
Well,
Hamill, the one who plays Luke, was like, he wouldn't do that. But like obviously he's the actor, so
Yeah, true.
but that's that's why I have it as last place.
We've had many work arguments over this topic.
yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Like this is the one thing we always disagreed
Well,
about.
I want to go more into it, but I feel like maybe next time.
Yeah,
I will
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
because
we still need Ronnie's list.
yeah, we do. That's
Because
why.
I'll touch on that when I talk about it.
Okay.
All right, Ronnie, let's hear your list.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go reverse order just to like switch things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. So we're now.
So
So we're
worst
going
movie,
worst.
yeah, worst one. Not even by a long shot. Not even in the same realm. Rise of Skywalker.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I have many the only redeeming factor of it to me is just the production quality, which shouldn't
Yeah,
matter that much.
and the soundtrack, which he mainly like took from everything else, because John
Yeah, it
Williams was
was
like, no.
incredibly well done movie. If it was just a standalone movie,
Hmm.
it's incredible. Like it's great. It's just a really well done like action sci-fi movie. But it's just the fact that it's like part of the biggest franchise in history,
Hmm.
and it just kind of it like leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
It does. Me too.
My biggest thing is like I feel like it nullifies everything else if
Yes.
he's just always present. If Palpatine is always there and he's the only reason or he's behind it all still, then it's like, well, what Luke did in the original trilogy with Han and Leia, what all of them did to like take down Palpatine was for nothing.
Yep. I agree.
It just feels like it's just nullifying. Like obviously it's not for nothing because if they didn't, he would have just taken over more. But it's just like it just kind of takes a sting out of it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And
I think it. I
something,
think. Oh, go
sorry,
ahead. No,
something I
no, go
will
ahead.
say about that as well is how, Anakin was the chosen one to bring balance to the Force, and that
Mhm.
brought a little speculation on. Wait a minute, I thought Anakin was supposed to, you know, I thought Anakin did this already. Why are we having
It's
Ray do
yeah,
it?
yeah, and
Yeah,
I do get where you're coming from, Jordan, when you like rank it highly.
hmm
I think that's largely like a personal preference thing.
yeah,
You
Hmm.
know, like, but I get what you mean. I just think it wasn't executed well enough.
Me either. I agree.
Yeah, and then okay, so
fair
from there
enough.
to my number 10, so second lowest. I think I gotta go Force Awakens.
Oh, okay.
I know it was like well done, but once again, it's too safe. It's too much of a cop out.
Yeah, I
Too much.
understand that completely. Because it
Like
really
it's
is. Force.
we already
A
have A
New
New
Hope.
Hope. It is like point for point the exact same movie,
Hmm.
just
Yeah,
with new characters. And it's like
yeah,
once again, if it's a standalone movie that isn't tied to Star Wars, it's way better. But it's just too safe. It's too
No, I
too
agree.
casual. Too safe.
yeah.
Okay, so from there, I'm gonna go to Solo.
Yep. I thought
I
so.
just it was good, but like one time good and
Yes, I agree. I
good.
just can't watch it
Yeah,
again.
it's like it has its place, and I'm glad they made it, but I don't need to go back to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so from there, I'm gonna go to. Hmm,
Yeah, it's tough
it's
when you're on the
actually
spot.
it's getting tough now, like in the middle. I'd say probably Return of the Jedi.
No, that's so
And it's
fair.
not even like it's very good,
Hmm.
but it's hard to like top Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope. Like it's
It
hard for me to separate each of the trilogies
it
separately.
starts
Like,
off strong, and
yeah,
then that middle ground is just like God. It does seem like some fluff, you know,
it's a bit fluffy.
to get
It's
to the
almost like it
final
got
fight.
less serious.
The
Yeah.
only thing I will say, even though I had Return of the Jedi kind of ranked high, and I'm gonna keep it that way,
Yeah,
but I will say they do kind of drag along.
yeah, definitely. That's like
But
kind of my thing with it. Is like
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, it was my favorite one,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
every time after that, it gets worse for me.
Yeah. I agree
but
completely.
like they kind of had to drag it along because Han Solo was so frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, it's
That
just
was in the beginning though, when he gets freed. Like it's all right
Yeah,
away.
but like you know what I mean. They still have to
Yeah.
kind of
Like the beginning, like them getting him out of carbonite, and then Luke coming, and then they just tear up Jabba's palace. Like that's all great, and then they leave, and then when Yoda, says like, like there is another, and then you're
mhm.
like, damn, bro, it's his sister, and then it's just like up until like Vader and Luke meet, and then Luke starts trying to entice Vader back. Like up until then is just so much fluff, in my opinion, and it's
Yeah,
not that great. Like
it has a
The
really
Ewok
warm,
stuff,
cozy.
yeah, the Ewok stuff really does kind of just sour it. Like like what is that planet called? Endor.
Oh, and Andor, yeah.
Andor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Endor just really does kind of put a little.
It's got a very unique vibe to me. Like it
Hmm.
just feels very different. not different, but it's like very distinctly itself, and it's
Yes.
like really warm and cozy, like, but it's not as intense and like
Mhm. So it
gripping as the other
was
ones.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's very middle of the road.
Okay, that's fine. I fair, fair, fair,
I
very
think
fair.
after that, I'd probably go Attack of the Clones.
Okay,
Um, I love the prequels, but that one's probably the one I rewatched the least.
that's fair.
It's
Something I
not,
will say about
yeah,
that movie too. We're introduced to Jango Fett,
Yes.
and the
yeah,
sound
no,
of those
um,
ion cannons.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Oh
Oh,
my
it's so
god,
amazing.
that
the
is
more I
one
think
of the
about it,
best parts of that movie.
Hmm.
I'd rather listen to that than listen to Anakin and Padme's dialogue.
Well, the whole them chasing. I can't remember her name, but the changeling bounty hunter, amazing. That whole
Yeah,
chase and the sound of her like
it's like
her.
Zed. It's Zed.
Yes. Oh, Zam something. Zam
Yeah,
something.
something
But
like that.
but the whole that whole like the whole scene is so good.
hmm
And then of course the bar was paying homage to the first movie when he's showing at the bar and then cuts her arm off, just like he
yeah.
does to the one thug. But yeah.
Now, I want to make a change to my list.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm
want to
going to get a
put
drink.
A New Hope before Attack of the Clones. So
Oh,
low,
okay.
You
technically.
want to wait? What? You're also putting A New Hope very low?
It's just it's so good, but at the same time, I would rather rewatch almost any of the other ones.
Wow.
I don't know. It's
Damn.
great, but it's just so stereotypical. I don't know. I just think like the prequels, it's hard for me to like put that over the prequels because of how much I'd rather watch the prequels.
That's fair.
You
All right.
know?
That's
So
fair.
I think I'll go A New Hope and then Attack of the Clones above that.
Damn.
All right.
And then above Attack of the Clones, I think I go The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Okay.
Um and that one's kind of like neck and neck with Phantom Menace. So like those two I'd kind of put next few spots.
All
Last
right.
Jedi, by far my favorite like sequel one.
Yeah, that's the one
I
I
think the
rewatched the
direction is
most.
yeah, I cannot like imagine. I just wish Rian Johnson had done all three because I feel like he would have taken more risks throughout all three of them, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I
And I know
agree.
the argument is about like Luke being out of character, but in a weird way, I feel like that's like as in character for Luke as he's ever
Because
been.
he's not perfect. He's not a
No,
perfect
exactly.
Jedi.
I hate like a flawless main character,
Yeah, I
and I
agree.
like
And
that he
that's what
fucks.
fuck. That's what Ray like became. In
Yeah,
my was like this like just like oh now
Mary
like
Sue.
Mary Sue, I know, and it just sucks to say because like at first the first movie I was so on board, and then it just kept going, and then Rise of Skywalker just made it just the ultimate, just like fu.
Failure. Yeah, exactly.
But
Dude,
yeah,
all the memes about, I had to train this many years to become a Jedi.
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
like
just
Ray's
lower
You
like,
guys
blood.
trained.
yeah.
What's next for you, Ronnie?
Okay, next I would go Phantom Menace.
Yep.
That one has a ton of nostalgic value for me,
Oh yeah.
just because my dad and I watched it so much as a kid. But it also just has like I don't know, it's just nice seeing young Anakin and like it feels fresh and new, even though it's so old. Um, so yeah, that one's there.
Now
There's not I don't have a
this
lot
this
to say
pod
about that one.
racing.
Huh?
He
Now
said,
this pod
"Get
racing.
out of here."
Oh, I don't even know what you said.
You just threw
Okay.
him off so much.
I thought you were like making a comment on like my opinion. I was like, what?
No.
Okay, after that, I'd go. I think I only have three left. I'd go Rogue One.
Yep.
Rogue One's just so good.
We all put Rogue
We
One
all
at
have,
3.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Okay, it's just
swear our
good.
top three are like
I think the
similar.
same. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What's number 2? What's number 2? I'm so excited.
Two. I feel like Cam, you know it. Empire Strikes
Yep.
Back.
Yep. Yes,
Because me and
sir.
you love Revenge of the Sith more than
Yes,
anything.
sir.
This is
Yeah,
where
so
the
Revenge of the
fun
Sith is the
begins.
one.
Right, dude. Jordan just had to be different, dude. Or just
I
had to be
mean,
different.
I just like I don't know.
I get what you're
Like
saying, like why you would put Empire at number one, but like,
Yeah.
Revenge of the
damn, dude,
Sith
Revenge is
is
just
like
the most entertaining movie, one of my personal most entertaining movies of all time.
it's like neck. They're both neck and neck,
I
but
know.
I have to put
No, I get it.
Empire because it's an original.
No,
It,
it's
Like
literally like depending on the day of the week, I'll pick a
yeah,
different one.
yeah,
They're
absolutely.
both perfect. The two of those.
All right, let's see. So,
Yeah.
Ronnie,
Yeah.
tell me about Duolingo.
Wait, why? What about it?
What are you doing in Duolingo?
Learn French?
You're learning French.
Yeah, why? Wait, what happened?
That's the thing that someone
we,
told me to
hey,
tell you about.
we, Ronnie, we caught you.
Yeah. What are you learning French
We
for?
got you.
Huh?
What are you learning French for?
Well, I've always been learning French, but
Are you of French descent?
a little bit, not really, not mainly.
Okay, but what's it about? Why do you want to learn French?
Oh, I have no reason.
Damn,
I
that's
just
so valid though. Like, damn, he's
like
he's doing
okay.
French just to do it.
Wait, maybe you guys don't know this.
Mm-mm.
Um, Back in high school, I was always like really into languages. Um,
Oh.
I guess it can make sense considering I majored in linguistics. But going into high school, when I had to pick a foreign language, I picked French just because I didn't want to do Spanish. Um, I think because I always want to do something a little different, and French was like one of the only other options, so I picked it.
Understandable. The teachers weren't good for Spanish. Trust me.
They weren't at Eastlake, yeah. And
Yeah.
so, um, from there, I just kind of liked French a lot, and it came really easy to me. And got so fucking far in it. I did it for 4 years. I was probably conversational. Then I met my ex, who was from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Had dropped French to start learning Spanish, for obvious reasons, and then no longer with her. And it really was like the only reason I was learning Spanish to begin with was because of her. I didn't want to keep going with it, and I was like dying to get back on French and like really push myself on it. So I've been doing that for a while, but very casually.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I've always loved languages, so I just kind of learn whenever I can, you know.
Yeah.
But
That's
wait,
awesome though.
That
this
is
though, I
cool.
feel like was there a reason you guys thought I was doing French, like other than
No, just messing with you. But
Yeah.
oh,
I
I
thought
thought
it
I
would
did.
be. Someone told us that you are on like Duolingo like a lot. So
Oh no, I'm on there every day.
okay, but now for
Wait, who
obvious
was it?
reasons,
Who am I friends with on there?
Al,
Wait, who?
Al,
Allison?
yeah.
Oh, that's right. I am friends with her on
Shout out
there.
to Allison. Yo,
Yeah, a G.
safe
I
travels.
haven't seen her
Yeah.
since I moved.
Yeah. And
Well, when
then
you
what's
when we
up?
went to that Rays game,
We hung out with
we
her and
yeah.
Oh, when I was at the Rays game.
yeah. That's why we were
Yeah.
asking you what you were doing.
Oh, that's what y'all were asking about.
Yeah,
Ah,
Jordan.
Oh boy. Yes.
So if Five Nights at Freddy's had an
Hmm.
anime, you wouldn't watch it.
No.
Really? What if it had
Yeah. No.
very detailed info on it?
Well, that's only because I've played the games and I've watched YouTubers like Markiplier play all the games,
Hmm.
and
No
once
media
you like,
coverage. You have to watch it. You wouldn't watch it?
yeah, I wouldn't watch it. You
Wow.
already know. Come on,
okay.
I
Wait,
do not
I want
like.
my info on this.
I
Okay.
can't. I love Star Wars, and I think I've made that very apparent, right?
Yes.
And on Disney Plus, there's Star Wars Visions, and that's like a anime Star Wars. I can't even watch that.
What can I ask? What it is about anime that puts you off?
I just I don't know. I just
What do
don't.
you mean?
I have no interest.
I think we need to sit him down, like tie him to a chair,
Mm-hmm.
and put on Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is like the most perfect one, honestly.
It's so political. It's so suspenseful.
Oh, and the plot twist though.
I've never been more invested in
Yeah,
anything in my life.
like season three's plot twist like blew me
Oh
away.
my god, season 3 put me
Like
into a
I was
coma,
like,
dude.
oh my god, dude. Like, cause I wasn't so I once it became so popular, I don't know what happened to me where I was just like, oh, I don't want to watch it. So like I stopped. I didn't watch season three, and then season four came
Mm.
around. And then when I was, if we want to go into this, we can. But when I was told that it was going to be the last season,
Yeah.
part two, I was like, oh well, better. When's a better time to just watch the show again? So I
Hmm.
watched up until season two, which I've seen, and then season three was when like halfway, like towards the end, you get like the big bombshell revealed, and you're like, oh my god, like what a great twist! I did not see
Like
that
the stuff
coming.
about Marley.
Yeah, I just didn't want to spoil anything.
I
And what you
Jordan will
said,
forget.
oh, I'm just talking about in general, but what you just said doesn't even, no one would know because you said it so quickly. But
Yeah,
like, I don't ever want to spoil that show mainly because of just how perfect it is, like in terms of
for
the
real.
plot twist. And then when you explore the plot twist, oh my god.
It's insane.
Um, it is one of those animes that I will actually get into now. Where because it's it's cheaper than drawn, where they start to do like CGI stuff against like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Titan fights. Dude, not like without the CGI stuff. When Mappa took over, which is an
Oh,
animation
season
studio,
4. It's
dude,
crazy.
the animations is beautiful. Like Mappa is crazy about eyes.
It's so crispy.
They also did Jujutsu Kaisen, and like there's a character
Hmm.
who has these really unique eyes, and they just go all out
It's
with the
so cool.
eyes. I love like I'm the older I get, the more I really love just animation
This
or
is the part where I go
cinematography.
use the bathroom. Hold on.
Yeah, okay. Um, and I might as well talk about it right now. I just watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners,
Okay.
and dude, if you don't even if you're not even gaming, and like this is for people that don't even care about games, like Cyberpunk itself is a great like scenario, but like I get not playing it. In Cyberpunk Edge Runners, you don't need to know anything about the game,
Oh, really?
uh,
Okay.
but it is like one of the most like amazing shows. Like it's very dramatic. Like it's very dramatic. It hits you hard. It is one of the most beautiful animations I've ever seen.
It's
Um,
on Netflix, right?
it is on Netflix. Yes, you can. If
Okay.
you don't have Netflix, I think you can. Like it is an anime, so like it
Yeah.
would probably be on like one of those anime
It's on.
sites.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
pirating one.
yeah. But like it is a highly recommended at least once for sure.
Okay. I definitely want to watch it because I always saw. It always came up on my like main feed on
Yeah, me
Netflix,
too,
and I was
me too. And
like, fire.
because like they did the password sharing stuff, and I noticed that I still had my sisters, and I was like, "What's the one show that I would really want to watch?" And I felt like I would regret. And it was between Arcane and Edge Runners, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch Edge Runners, and oh my
I've
god,
seen most of Arcane, but it's good. But you probably made the right choice.
yeah, like it's quick, and
Yeah.
you like almost don't even know like how quick Cyberpunk is, like Edge Runners.
Is it done, or are they like gonna be making
Yeah, it's
more?
done. It's like just a
Okay.
quick short story, basically.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
it's but it's one of those like, damn, I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it, only because of how perfect and sad, like, and how like the ending is, you know.
Okay.
Like, there's another anime Netflix called Devilman Crybaby. That's like that beautiful animation,
Oh, yeah, I know
beautiful
about that one.
storytelling. It's really sad ending, and I don't know if I ever want to watch it again, just because of how depressing it is. Um, but yeah, really good all around.
I always hear about banana fish being like the saddest thing ever conceived.
Banana fish?
Banana fish, yeah.
What is that?
I don't even know. It's just every time I get in a conversation with people about like sad, gut wrenching animes,
This is an
banana fish
anime.
gets banana fish gets mentioned, and people
I'm
like have a visceral reaction to it.
gonna look that up right now.
Like just the mention of it, and like people are like, "Oh my god!"
Banana
I think it's like a
Okay.
I think it's in a similar vein to Fruits Basket. Like the same people who recommend
Okay.
always recommended me Banana Fish.
Gosh. Okay.
I'm like the way they talk about it, though, it makes me scared to watch it because I feel like I'm gonna break down.
Probably. Probably.
Like,
Jordan.
Yes.
All right. We are done with anime for now.
Okay, I actually wanted to say something. Have you guys watched Andor?
oh
Wow.
no,
No, I haven't.
You guys need to watch that. I mean, you don't need to watch it for Ahsoka,
No.
but I
But
definitely recommend watching it. It was
I know. I actually
it
heard
was
how good it
really
was.
good.
I know, and it's so disappointing that like that is the one that everyone says is really good, and I like probably a lot of other Star Wars fans just put it off because it's like you got to think about it. Like I I don't even think this is a spoiler because they say it in A New Hope, but like the characters in Rogue One die, and like
Yeah, yeah.
and so you're pretty much watching a show about someone who's dead already. So that I guess is kind of hard to like want to watch.
Well,
hmm
it's
I
like
know that doesn't make sense because like like a lot of the characters that
obviously
we've seen are dead.
it's like a prequel to Rogue One
No, yeah, for sure.
because we're following Andor.
And Diego Luna
Um,
is just a fantastic actor.
oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I guess I
But
gotta give it a watch.
that show's definitely worth a watch.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why I didn't watch it and much other
Yeah.
shows. I got I don't know if I told you, but like when in between Andor and Obi-Wan, like I was starting to watch Rebels, I got really sick again,
Oh yeah.
and I just like didn't really do anything like while I was really sick.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just like one of those things where like I don't even remember what I like. I don't. Have you ever been that sick where you like don't even remember what you did? Like,
I guess besides like getting sick, yeah.
yeah, but like I because most of the time I like watch a show or something, but I don't even remember watching a show. I don't. I just like I was working at the time, so
You
and
blacked
I
out.
didn't call out. Yeah, like I was working. I was depressed about being sick, and then I didn't know if I was dying because of how sick I was. And then just suddenly I got better, and I was like, oh, back to normal life. And then ever since then, like I haven't really watched much shows, and like especially real ones, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Like Cyberpunk Edge Runners started like watching shows again for me, and I definitely feel it again, like the need to watch other shows.
hmm
Like there's a show that I've been always interested in. It's called Peaky Blinders on Netflix.
Oh, I love Peaky Blinders, dude.
Okay, it is good.
Oh god, it's so good. And
Okay,
I've only seen the first season, and everyone says it gets better and better as it goes on. Even the last season, like it doesn't fall off.
okay, good. Because that might be
But I
my
also
next one.
love shows like that. Like it's like a you know the premise, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I want to be Thomas Shelby for Halloween. That's like my idea.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
I
What
just
we
love the
got to do one of
accent.
the crazy haircuts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that slick, that
Jordan,
little
you not
slick.
watched Peaky Blinders?
I have not, but I've definitely heard of it.
Heard of it? Okay. Um,
Yeah.
that and Sandman are another one that I've heard that are really good. And that's based off of a
Sandman,
comic.
is that like
It's uh, it's based off of a comic series, and it's
oh,
really hard to describe.
huh,
But they just
right?
did a really good job of it. Next time I'll have a premise about it, but I don't actually remember the premise of it.
That's all good. What else was I gonna say?
But yeah, no Andor though, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, definitely try and give that a watch. It was really good. But I think it came out. Well, the episodes were coming out the same time as one of the other shows. I think it was
Uh,
Kenobi.
no. What was it? I think it was Bad Batch season two,
You're
and
right. I think it was that too.
I did not watch Bad Batch season two either. Did you?
I did.
Okay. Do you like it?
Um,
Ooh.
Yes
Uh-oh. But? I feel like there's a but coming.
and no.
Oh, jeez. Okay. That sounds like that might be a homework
Um,
one.
yeah,
One that I have to like force myself to watch, I guess.
yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I think you'll understand why.
That's
I
Talking
fair.
just
about
think
bad
they
guy.
have some filler episodes that
Oh no! Why do they do that?
I don't. I think it's just so they can, bag their cash for,
Yeah,
all
Hmm.
the episodes.
That's
Because,
fair.
they try to make it a certain amount of episodes, but, you have so much story, but they don't want to get there too fast. You know what I mean? So they make them do other stuff. But
to prolong it.
yeah, exactly. I
Damn.
feel like they did that. But
It always sucks when that happens. It kind of takes the like, I don't know, takes the enjoyment out of it a little bit.
yeah, yeah. All right. With that being said, I think it's about time we close it out for this episode. Boy, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we talked about so much.
Yeah, and there's not
Um,
even and there's a lot more that we can say. So
oh
stay
yeah,
tuned for the next episodes where we're fans of a lot of things. So expect like FNAF per se. Expect Starbucks because we work there. Just expect a lot of good stuff to
Mhm.
come forward.
Yeah.
and this is like we're just three friends, just like literally talking about whatever, and like we'd love to hear your opinions on some of the stuff that we've said, and like your thoughts on Star Wars, your thoughts on sports, or just like anything. Like we didn't even talk about soccer.
Oh yeah, no, we
Like
didn't.
if there's something that you want us or our opinions on, go ahead and say it in the comments, and because we'll always be looking at the comments. Um, but yeah, I mean, is there any closing thoughts you guys want to make?
Anything
No,
you
I
got?
just feel like it went good. Nice conversation. Definitely got more to discuss too. So
Absolutely.
be sure to that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good night
This
and
one.
thank you for watching
Yes, thank you.
and thank
Have
you
a
for
good night,
listening.
everyone.
Ciao, ciao.